Team USA lost to Germany today, 113 to 111. And because of this loss, they're now officially out of the running to win gold in the FIBA tournament. So this was really predictable for me. In one of my earlier videos, I predicted that Team USA was not going to win. I think it was because they had lost to Lithuania several days earlier, and I just saw some things that were red flags for me that I didn't think that they were going to ultimately overcome in this tournament, that one team would eventually beat them when it really matters. You have to keep in mind that Team USA had several close calls prior to this loss to Germany. Granted, they had lost to Lithuania, but there were a few more times they should have lost, but they were able to win earlier in this tournament and in some of these exhibition games. And just when you look at the box score, I think the biggest thing that stands out to me when I compare the box scores of this game is that Team Germany shot 57.7% overall from the field. Team USA shot 58.5% overall from the field. Team Germany shot a little bit higher from three at 43%, while actually, no, Team USA also shot higher from three at 48%. So this was just a high offensive game in which both teams were not playing good defense. You can just tell they're both shooting high percentages on both ends. And usually those games are always dangerous because anything can go in those games. It's all about who gets hot at the right time. It's going to determine who wins. So when you don't have great defense, this is what happens. Like Team USA could not get a good defensive handle on this team, and they pay the price. It's absolutely atrocious when your opponent shoots 57 from the field. Not to say Germany played great defense either, because they didn't. But for Team USA, you always expect them to be a great defensive juggernaut, because I feel historically they've always been great defensively. Whenever they've won it all, they've always put down the defensive clamps on teams, and they've always had the suffocating defense. But this team didn't. You could say you could say it's the construction of the roster that caused this to happen, and a lot of that is true. You can definitely say that, but I feel we should put some of this blame on Steve Kerr. Just like he should have found a way to at least make them somewhat decent defensively. I'm not saying just shut teams down completely and hold them below 40% shooting. That's not realistic, but you should be able to have a team that can at least hold teams from shooting above 50% overall from the field. I think that's realistic, and Steve Kerr should get some blame for this. Like, he had no strategy on how to limit this team defensively, just or what to do just to slow them down. You can obviously tell by the box scores he didn't. And the other thing I think that really hurt this team is just their lack of size. It really, I think it made a difference in this game. So you look at just the rebounding battle. Team USA lost that rebounding battle 30-28, slight edge to Germany, but then the edge becomes bigger when you look at the offensive rebounds. Germany got 12 offensive rebounds, while Team USA only got 7. That's a 5-point deficit when it comes to rebounds, and you don't know how many points that were given up on that. Just that could have been 6 or 8 points given up on offensive rebounds that led to second chance points. And just look at Germany's margin of victory. That could have ultimately decided this game when you think about it, just those second chance buckets. So definitely USA being undersized played a huge role in them losing this game. And it was one of the reasons why I felt they were not going to win this tournament. Going forward, Team USA, you would think next year they'll step up during the Summer Olympics of 2024 and have a much better roster construction, that you need to have at least 3 legit bigs. You can't just have one. I felt this team only had one legit big in Jaren Jackson. Granted, he is clumsy and he's foul prone, but you need to at least have 3 guys that can be legit bigs. I don't know right now from the top of my head who you would include next year from the current NBA to be on this team. You look at it, you look at the current NBA and you look at all the great big men. They tend to be foreigners: Jokic, Embiid, Giannis. So even the second tier guys or third tier guys, you have a lot of foreign big men like Aiden, for example. But USA really needs to find a way to make their size more effective, or to get more talented players, especially big men. That's what I meant to say. I would throw a pitch for Anthony Davis next year to join the team. I don't feel the Lakers are going to win jack shit coming into this season. And I think the allure of gold might be appealing to him because he's not going to ever experience being a champion again no other way. So I definitely would make a pitch for AD to play in next year's Olympics. Obviously, if he's healthy, you definitely go after him. Granted, that is a question mark knowing he's injury prone. But right now, I can't think of any other bigs from the top of my head. You definitely want to get some more star players to participate in there. Granted, Stephen Curry's not young, but I have a feeling next year he will participate in that tournament since that'll be the last time he can probably play for Olympic gold. I think in the Olympic Games he can still be effective as three-point shooting. That's one guy you would go after. Kevin Durant's another guy. But you look at these guys like Durant and Curry, and these are like some of the best American players, how old they are now. These guys are like in their mid to late 30s. And it just shows the USA's talent pipeline is very weak right now. So they don't have really any young guys who are superstars yet, really. You just look at a guy like Jason Tatum. I've never thought of him as a superstar. To me, he's like a level below. I look at a guy like Devin Booker. He's really, really good, but I wouldn't call him a superstar. So I think it's going to be tough for the USA to put together a winning team next year for the Olympics, but I think they can do it. But it's gonna be a challenge to see who they can get and how they can construct the team properly. They definitely need to get some more bigs, and they need to get, I'm gonna say, at least 3 legit superstars on that team. You need at least 3. This team did not have any legit superstars, so that's what they're gonna have to do next year to have a chance to win the gold medal at the Olympics.